am a Buddhist. I've been practicing Buddhism for about 27 years. Really practicing it. I belong to an organization and I practice with people. And a lot of people don't really know it, but Buddhism has thousands of sects. So whatever you think about Buddhism is just very general and not specific, okay? I practice Nichiren Buddhism. And you may know that by the words Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Has anybody ever heard those words? Okay. One person would say, great. Okay, so the rest of you now know Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Okay, so that's the primary part of the practice. But what really drew me to Buddhism was that, well, a lot of people have been trying to introduce me for many, many years, and I was raised Baptist, really devout and all of that, but I was having a lot of personal problems, and I just couldn't find faith in it. I just could not find faith in what I was practicing. So when I was about 40 years old, somebody called up on the phone and said, have you ever heard of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo? And I felt like, oh, God, I could have had a V8. I said, okay, fine. Okay, fine, I'll go to the meeting. I had already been to meetings, and I was looking at the clock and said, okay, fine, what time can we go and get high? Okay, what's going on? What are we going to do now? Okay. So I knew everything that they did, but I had never involved myself. But what really grabbed me was that somebody said, in Nichiren Buddhism, you start at the moment of your death and start living your life backwards. What do you want that moment to be like? Well, I had so much experience with death. I had lost my mother when I was 18. Like 7 members of my family had passed within 3 years before I was 21. I mean, it was just really, really devastating because I really didn't have anybody to turn to, So here I am at 40. I've been finally decided, okay, I'm going to go to this meeting and I'm going to start this practice. But I really, really wanted to conquer this thing that I had about death, or that death had about me. It just seemed to have consumed my life, okay? So it reminded me of, when you kind of look back, you realize that your life has already been telling you what it's going to be like. But mostly when you're young, you don't really get it, So my first boyfriend his name was Ronnie, and my name was Ronnie, nickname was Ronnie. And oh, what a perfect pair we were. I was this tall, he was that short. We were really Mutt and Jeff. But our personalities were really, really, just really, really great. But ironically, his parents were morticians. So, see what I mean? It's karma. Okay, so one day he came to pick me up for a date. And he left a funeral and he was driving a hearse. So I think I must have been about maybe 14, 15 years old, maybe 15, 16, maybe something like that. And I said, I'm really curious. What's it like to ride in the hearse where the coffin normally is? So I said, can I go do that? Because he's always trying to get up. No. He says, oh yeah, sure, go back there, okay. So I get in the back of the hearse, okay. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, this would really be great. If when we get to a stop sign, because I don't know about the rest of you, but when I see your hearse, I immediately go do this, although I'm not Catholic. Okay. And I mean, very seriously, I know we're laughing about it now, but I mean, really, very solemn, those poor people they've lost, okay. But, so we're riding along, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm giggling to myself, and I'm just laying down like I'm in a coffin, but I'm not. I'm just laying down there. That's really great. And finally, he gets to a stoplight, and I say, okay, I wonder what will happen if I sit up. And if I take my finger and I push this curtain aside a little bit, look over at the person. And it worked! Oh my God, it was wonderful! It was just so wonderful as a kid, But anyway, this guy was sitting there, and he was kind of like this. And then he would look over at the one, and it was sort of like he was doing the, figuratively. Anyway, so I just kind of waited. My timing was just perfect. And I went up, and he just happened to turn around and look. But I went like this, and I went. This man trampled the red light. And Ronnie and I just laughed. We laughed. And so, I really decided then that, if you gotta die, and who doesn't? I mean, anybody in the room know anybody who hasn't done it yet? If you gotta die, you might as well do it laughing. Thank you. Good job.